I stared at my phone in disbelief as messages from confused parents started flooding in. Is Emma and Ethan's party canceled? Just got a text saying it's off. Hey, your NIL just called about the twins' party being canceled. Everything okay? Strange message about the party. Hope everything's all right. My hands trembled as I dialed my mother-in-law's number. Barbara answered on the second ring, her voice dripping with satisfaction. Oh, Jessica, I was just about to call you. Barbara, why are parents telling me you canceled the twins' birthday party? I kept my voice steady despite the rage building inside me. My 8-year-olds have been looking forward to this celebration for months. Well, dear, she said with fake sweetness, I thought it was obvious. Sarah's wedding is this month. We can't have other celebrations overshadowing her special time. I'm sure you understand. I gripped the kitchen counter, knuckles white. The twins' birthday party is 2 weeks before Sarah's wedding. It's a children's party at a pizza place. How could that possibly overshadow anything? Jessica, Barbara's tone turned cold. My daughter has dreamed of a perfect June wedding her entire life. Having other events this month will take attention away from her. Besides, the twins can celebrate next month. I thought about Emma and Ethan, who had helped me hand-deliver invitations to their classmates, who had spent hours planning their party games, who had been counting down the days on their calendar. The party is happening, Barbara. You had no right. I've already called everyone, she cut in. The venue, too. I told them there was a family emergency. It's done. Sarah deserves a perfect wedding month. My mind raced. The twins would be devastated. They've been talking nonstop about celebrating with their friends, especially since last year's party had been canceled due to Ethan's pneumonia. Barbara knew this. She'd been there through his hospital stay, pretending to be the caring grandmother while making snide comments about my parenting. Mom? Emma's voice called from the doorway. She and Ethan stood there in their matching birthday squad shirts we'd picked out for party prep. We finished blowing up the balloons for tomorrow. I forced a smile, nodding 1 minute to them before turning away. Barbara, you listen to me. I don't care about Sarah's perfect month. You had no right to cancel my children's party. The guests will be there tomorrow at 2 p.m. as planned. The venue's been canceled, Barbara said smugly. Good luck finding somewhere to host 20 children on less than 24 hours' notice. Now, about Sarah's bridal shower next week. I hung up, my mind already working on solutions. This wasn't the first time Barbara had tried to sabotage something involving the twins. Last Christmas, she'd accidentally told them Santa's gifts were hidden in our closet. On their first day of school, she tried to convince them they weren't ready, that they should wait another year so they wouldn't overshadow their cousin's school debut. But this was a new low. Mom, Ethan's voice wavered. Is something wrong with the party? I turned to face my children. Emma was clutching the balloon pump, and Ethan held a half-inflated blue balloon. Their excited smiles had been replaced with worry. They were too smart, too observant. They'd learned to read tension in the air after years of Barbara's subtle manipulations. Your grandmother. I started, then stopped. How do you tell 8-year-olds that their grandmother canceled their birthday party because their aunt's wedding was more important? My phone buzzed again. Another parent asking about the cancellation. That's when an idea struck me. These weren't just party guests. They were parents from our close-knit community. Parents who'd watched the twins grow up, who'd helped during Ethan's hospital stay, who'd celebrated every milestone with us. Everything's going to be fine, I told the twins, and for the first time since Barbara's call, I believed it. I need to make some calls, but tomorrow's party will be even better than we planned. I sent a quick message to our parent group. Unexpected venue issue. Party still on tomorrow. New location TBA. Please stand by. Then I called Susan, whose daughter Amy was in Emma's class. Susan owned a massive property just outside town, complete with a converted barn they used for community events. Barbara did what? Susan's voice rose in disbelief as I explained the situation. That woman, Jessica, used the barn. We'll make it work. I'll call the mom squad. We'll have it ready by tomorrow. Tears of relief stung my eyes. Susan, are you sure? Absolutely. That woman's had it out for those kids since day one. Remember when she tried to convince the school they needed separate classes because twins shouldn't be codependent? I did remember, just like I remembered every other time Barbara had tried to minimize or control my children's experiences. Always with a smile. Always with some excuse about what was best for them. Mom. Emma tugged at my sleeve. Can we still have our party? I pulled both twins into a hug. Yes, sweethearts. And it's going to be amazing. How do you feel about having it in Miss Susan's big barn instead of the pizza place? Their eyes lit up. The barn with the tire swing? Ethan asked. And the hayloft? Emma added. The very same. They high-fived each other, previous worry forgotten in their excitement. I watched them race off to call their best friends about the venue change, their enthusiasm contagious. My phone buzzed again. Barbara. A text this time. Jessica, I know you're upset, but you need to think about Sarah's feelings. This is her special month. The twins will understand when they're older. I left her message unread and dialed my husband, Mark. He was away at a conference but needed to know what his mother had done. She what? Mark's voice cracked. Mom canceled. I'll call her right now. No, I said firmly. Right now, I need you to call the pizza place. Get our deposit back if you can. Then call your sister. I want to know if she's part of this. I could hear Mark's deep sigh. Jess, I'm so sorry. I'll handle it. Send me pictures tomorrow. Of course. I paused. Mark? When you get back, we need to talk about your mother's access to the kids. This can't happen again. I know, he said quietly. I know. After hanging up, I joined our community's group chat, which was already buzzing with plans for tomorrow. Parents offering to bring extra decorations, someone knew a face painter who could come last minute, another had a cotton candy machine. Barbara thought she could ruin my children's birthday. Instead, she reminded me what real family looks like, not someone who tries to dim your light, but people who help you shine brighter. Looking at the twins' excited faces as they planned their barn party, I knew tomorrow would be unforgettable. Not because of Barbara's attempt to cancel it, but because of all the love that would make it happen. But first, I had some calls to make. Starting with Sarah. It was time to find out just how much her perfect wedding month meant to her, and whether she knew what her mother had done in her name. Sarah's response wasn't what I expected. She did what? My sister-in-law's voice cracked through the phone. Jessica, I swear I had no idea. Mom told me you decided to postpone the twins' party because Ethan wasn't feeling well. I closed my eyes, processing this new information. Of course, Barbara had lied to everyone, crafting different stories to suit her narrative. So you didn't ask her to clear your wedding month of other celebrations? God, no. Sarah sounded horrified. I'm not that kind of bride. Mom's been intense about the wedding. Yesterday, she tried to uninvite my college roommate because her dress might clash with the color scheme. I almost laughed at the absurdity. Almost. She's called every parent from the twins class, Sarah. Told them there was a family emergency. She even canceled our deposit at the venue. I'll call her right now, Sarah said firmly. This is insane. Emma and Ethan are 8, for heaven's sake. Their birthday party isn't taking anything away from my wedding. Wait, I said, an idea forming. Don't call her yet. She doesn't know about the new venue. Let's see what she does when she shows up tomorrow to make sure the party's really canceled. Sarah was quiet for a moment. Mom's going to lose it when she realizes she can't control everything. Count me in. What time should I arrive to help set up? After hanging up, I checked the group chat. Our community had mobilized in full force. Susan's barn was being transformed into a party paradise. Someone's teenager had made a TikTok-inspired balloon arch. Another parent was bringing their karaoke machine. The pizza place, after hearing what happened, offered to deliver to the new venue at a discount. I was responding to last-minute coordination messages when Barbara's number flashed on my screen again. This time I answered. Jessica, she started, her voice sickly sweet. I've been thinking about the twins. How about a nice family dinner instead of a party? Much more appropriate during wedding season. I'll even make my special casserole. The same casserole she brought to the hospital when Ethan was sick, using his illness to criticize my parenting between bites. No thank you, Barbara. The twins are looking forward to celebrating with their friends. But I've already canceled everything. Her voice rose slightly. You're being ridiculous. Sarah's wedding has nothing to do with my children's birthday. I cut in. Goodbye, Barbara. I blocked her number before she could respond. Then I went to check on the twins, who were busy making new decorations with their art supplies. Emma looked up from her glitter-covered creation. Mom, is Grandma coming to our party? My heart clenched. How do you explain to children that their grandmother prioritizes control over their happiness? She might stop by, sweetheart. But let's focus on making this the best party ever, okay? The next morning was a flurry of activity. Susan's barn had been transformed overnight. Fairy lights twinkled from the rafters. Tables were set up with games and craft stations. The tire swing had been decorated with streamers, and someone had even brought a small bouncy castle. Parents and kids started arriving early, everyone pitching in to help with final preparations. The energy was infectious. This wasn't just a birthday party anymore. It was a community statement about standing together. The fallout from the twins' birthday party lasted far longer than Barbara's hasty retreat. In the weeks that followed, her carefully crafted image as the doting grandmother crumbled completely. Parents from the twins' school shared stories of her past manipulations, times she interfered with playdates, spread rumors about other children to make her grandkids look better, and even tried to influence teacher assignments. "I can't believe we didn't see it sooner," Susan told me over coffee a week after the party. She always played the devoted grandmother role so well. Mark returned from his conference 2 days after the party, and our conversation about his mother was long overdue. "I found these," he said, placing a stack of letters on our kitchen table. They were from his childhood, correspondence between Barbara and his school, attempting to control every aspect of his and Sarah's lives. "She's always been like this," he admitted, running a hand through his hair. I thought she changed. Or maybe I didn't want to see it happening to our kids." The twins, surprisingly, adapted better than anyone expected. "Grandma needs a timeout," Ethan declared matter-of-factly. "Like when I pushed Emma in kindergarten and had to think about being nice." Emma nodded sagely. "She's not very good at sharing attention." Their insight made me laugh and cry at the same time. Sarah's wedding was another story entirely. Barbara's behavior at the twins' party had consequences she hadn't anticipated. Half the guests had heard about her attempt to protect the wedding month by canceling a children's birthday party. Her reputation in our close-knit community was in tatters. "She's still trying to control everything," Sarah confided during her final dress fitting. "But now people see through it. Yesterday, she tried to change the seating arrangement for the 4th time, and my future mother-in-law just laughed and said, 'Oh, is this like the birthday party situation?'" Barbara's attempts to regain control became increasingly desperate. She sent flying monkeys, distant relatives, and old family friends to plead her case. "She's just traditional," they'd say. "She means well. Family should forgive." But we'd learned our lesson about enabling her behavior. The Sunday before Sarah's wedding, Barbara made one last attempt to reassert her authority. She showed up at our door, unannounced, clutching a photo album. "I thought the twins might like to see pictures from when their daddy was little," she said, trying to step inside. "And maybe we could discuss their role in a wedding." "No, Barbara," I said firmly, blocking the doorway. "The twins are happy with their roles as flower girl and ring bearer. The rehearsal schedule is set, and if you try to manipulate anything else, you'll be sitting in the back row, if you're invited at all." Her face crumpled in practiced tears. "My own grandchildren, my daughter's wedding. How can you be so cruel?" "Cruel?" I laughed. "Cruel is trying to ruin an 8-year-old's birthday. Cruel is lying to everyone to get your way. Cruel is making your grandchildren feel like their joy is less important than your control." She left in tears, but I felt no guilt. The twins watched from the window, waving goodbye to their grandmother with a wisdom beyond their years. The wedding itself was beautiful and notably drama-free. Barbara, properly chastened and closely watched, stayed in her seat and kept her comments to herself. The twins performed their roles perfectly, and Sarah got her perfect wedding day, not because of her mother's controlling behavior, but despite it. During the reception, I watched Emma and Ethan dancing with their aunt, their laughter pure and uninhibited. Barbara sat at her table, alone despite the crowded room, watching the joy she tried so hard to control unfold without her input. "You know what's funny?" Sarah said, joining me at my table. "Mom was so worried about a children's party overshadowing my wedding. But if she hadn't tried to cancel it, most people wouldn't even remember when it happened. Her need for control made it unforgettable." 6 months later, our family dynamics had shifted permanently. Barbara's access to the twins was limited and supervised. She complained about it constantly, but her threats and tears no longer held power over us. The twins thrived in their new boundary-protected environment. Their 9th birthday approached, and this time, they made the guest list themselves. Barbara wasn't on it. Is that okay? Emma asked me, worried about being unkind. Sometimes, I told her, it's braver to protect your peace than to give someone another chance to disturb it. She nodded, understanding in her young way that family isn't just about blood. It's about the people who celebrate your joy instead of trying to control it. The morning of their 9th birthday party, a science-themed celebration in Susan's barn again, I found a letter from Barbara in her mailbox. Inside was a check and a note. For the party. I know now that I was wrong. I ripped up both and threw them away. Our children's happiness wasn't for sale, and Barbara's attempts to buy her way back into control wouldn't work anymore. Watching the twins blow out their candles that afternoon, surrounded by genuine love and support, I knew we'd given them something more valuable than a perfect party. We'd shown them that they had the right to shine, even when others tried to dim their light. And that was worth more than all of Barbara's perfect plans combined.